Alright, so after another long hiatus, I think I've had like 3 or 4 of these, I'm back for God knows how long. Probably another 6 months before I do one of these again. Uh, so I think last time I was supposed to do Raleigh, I think I skipped Raleigh, but whatever, I can go back and do it. But I'm doing Merriweather Night 1, 8/11/2018, so trying to get next night, second night of Merriweather, and then Dick's, finally be done with summer. And then I can switch over to the Dead shows that are going on right now. And then my plan is to hopefully get those done, and then switch over to fall of 2018 tour. And then if I'm lucky, I'll be able to get all those in before, hopefully before Dick starts, and then I can run through this year's summer. But alright, so Merriweather Night 1, Blaze On opener, set up before, and a huge Blaze On fan. Also, there's like rain in the background, so hopefully, I'm sure this camera will pick, or the phone camera, whatever's going to pick it up, but whatever. So Blaze On, to be honest, I was like, well, I'd rather have it in the opening spot and just get it over with. And yeah, I mean, yeah, good spot to have it, I guess. If I was ever going to get it, I'd rather have it opener. It was really short, but good tempo. Pretty high paced song, I felt like, for Blaze On. Pretty short. That's okay. Segued into Party Time. I gave Party Time an honorable mention because it was funny, because I actually was like, wow, this is actually longer than Blaze On. And I actually felt like it kind of actually went somewhere. I don't know. Party Times, I kind of feel like don't really get too explored too much in the jam, but I feel like this one kind of went somewhere a little bit this time than usual. Definitely one where I know Trey was playing around on the rig a little bit more, doing some stuff. I don't know, more so than I think you would expect in a Party Time. Get Breath and Burning. I haven't, since the last time I did a review, I haven't really been listening to Phish, so I kind of been on a little Phish break, and I was thinking about the other day. I was like, I wonder if they even play Breath and Burning anymore. And then here we go, first show I've listened to in months. We get Breath and Burning. And this one I actually gave honorable mention as well, because I've always thought it was an okay song. I never hated it and never really got excited for it, but I thought this was a really good version, at least compared to what they normally do with it. It started a little bit slow, but it built into a really great peak, I felt. Paige had a little part that stood out in it, so I was really amazed at that one. Thinking about, they even play the song, and here we go, we got one, and it's actually a really good version, so, hey, props to Breath and Burning for coming out. I get a Sugar Shack. I really liked that one coming out of Breath and Burning, right after that, and, I mean, it was nothing special. That was pretty short. Last Sugar Shack I heard, I've been listening to the Dayton show from 2017 a couple times in the last month, 2 months since I've stopped. I mean, I've just been listening to like shows I went to. This is only like a handful of shows I've actually listened to in the last month, 2 months since I did a last review. But yeah, Sugar Shack was I felt pretty short. Nothing special. Home. I believe this is the first home they played this summer, and then the second one was at Dick's night 2. I'm pretty sure it was night 2. This one was okay compared to the one at Dick's. Dick's was like the one song that was like, I guess, new for me, that I've never heard, that I really fucking like. And I thought the Dick's one was a little bit more just epic. Everything about it was just epic. I don't know, just little details, like Trey's rig just was a little bit slightly tuned to be a little bit heavier sound, and it definitely fit. Oh, that's one, like, I think about shows and stuff, and they're kind of most of them are Blur, but I kind of remember when Home was playing, and I really didn't know it and really got into it. I would say it's probably my favorite Page song. Overall, it's one of my favorite lyrically. Probably, Rage Also another big one that's my lyrically favorite Phish songs. Not too many of those. I don't know what the others would be really. At least those two on the top of my head right here in the moment I can think of. But yeah, Home, it's a really great Page song. I actually would maybe consider it might be better than Halfway to the Moon. But as far as specifically just taking out the lyrics and just who cares if it's a Page song, the jam wise, I would say Halfway to the Moon's a little bit better. But then again, I've only heard Home twice, and I don't know how long or how often they throw that one out compared to Halfway. But that's another one I was thinking. All these fucking new Casbah songs and Ghosts of the Forest that they're going to be throwing in forever now. You ain't going to see probably Home or your Sugar Shacks and your fucking whatever else. Halfway to the Moon, you probably won't see those hardly ever. Stealing Time, I don't know. We'll see. That's just my theory. Whatever. They do whatever the fuck they want. It's their band. Yeah, I definitely would like to hear Home more often. So again, okay. I thought Dix was a little bit more epic of a version. Great fucking version either way. A great song either way too. 46 Days. Or excuse me, I'm going off my notes. The actual sell list would be Sugar Shack, Home, and then they did Joy, whatever. I'm not even gonna say anything on it. I don't like Joy. Then they did Stash, so it's kind of like, oh, I gotta sit through Joy and I gotta fucking sit through Stash. I don't know. Stash is Stash. I don't really care for it. A lot of people fucking love it. You know, same like Reba and all them. And I've said this before in all the other fucking reviews. So Stash is Stash, whatever. We're still waiting for that one to convince me to get into it a little or try to. But I did hear some of the reviews on I think night one opener for 2019 was an excellent Stash. I one of the nights some people I hear talking a lot of hype about that Stash, so maybe that'll be the one. We'll see. But yeah, it does Stash and finally 46 Days, and I was like, thank fucking God, we need a shot in the arm after those two. So 46 Days out of the that one I gave that one MVP. You know, it always fucking shows up, especially when it's the end of the set. And for me, having to sit through a Joy and Stash, thank God that fucking saved the set list for me. I'll tell you that. So on the second set, Sand opener, one of my definitely a top 5 Sand for me. I definitely recognized it right away in the jam because I was pretty sure I had watched part of this webcast. I think this was like one of the Merryweathers was a free webcast. I'm pretty sure I watched this one because I knew this one right away and I hadn't listened to this show at all. But then it would have been the webcast, so I definitely recognized it right away and I was like, oh yeah, I remember hearing this one and really liked this Sand. Gave this one of 2 MVPs for the second set, so this one got the first one. Goes into Mercury. In general, I feel like Trey always does some weird noises and shit in Mercury with his rig. Weird shit like that. I mean, I like it. It fits with Mercury. It's kind of like why I like Mercury, because he does shit like that. But I feel like he was dicking around a little bit more in this one than usual. But yeah, Mercury's always solid, so it's glad to hear Mercury. Gets a segue into Ghost. This is the co-MVP for second set. This Ghost, great fucking build-up. Honestly, as far as peaks, I would put this one's top 3. In no particular order would be, like it was the 2010 Ghost, my favorite Ghost. 2010 opener, like it'd be 6, I think it was 611. It was a Bridgeview in Illinois. My other one would be is the Dayton 17 that I got at that show. Great fucking build, great peak on those two. And then with this one, I would put in top 3 spot for build up and peaks and ghosts, because this one was really great. I was really getting into this one. I'll tell you what. It's been a while since there's I know there's been a Ghost from the other shows for Summer 18 that I got into, but this one definitely just felt really fucking good for me. I really got into this one. Definitely, I would say rivals, with the other two Ghosts I mentioned earlier with their peaks, definitely up there. But it was a little bit slower of a build up than I would have preferred, but it definitely fucking just built up and built up and built up really smooth and really fucking epically. And I mean, if I had to pick between the two, I would give this one MVP over singing. But I can give them both MVP for sure. Goes into Fuego. I like Fuego. This one didn't do anything special. This one, and then segues in a Slave to the Traffic. Like both didn't. I feel like both didn't stand out to me in any way. I feel like I don't know. I don't know if they were. I wouldn't say. I don't know if they were average or not. Just nothing stood out to me on this one, or for those two. But I mean, I'd take them. So short second set, only 5 songs, and then we get a big encore 20 years later. Like 20 years later, I mean, this one didn't do anything for me, didn't stand out, but it goes into, segues into Martian Monster. Best version of Martian Monster I've heard. I think there's one from like 2016, I would say maybe was the best. And I know there was one from an earlier show in this tour that I mentioned, pretty sure I mentioned in one review, but this one definitely was fucking phenomenal. I think it's definitely the best version I've heard so far. And there's been some really great, good Martian Monsters, but this one I thought, this without doubt my new favorite one. Paige had a little spaceship part where he was playing around with the keys. I think it was like the spaceship key or whatever when she says like the spaceship is landed or something. He was like playing around with that. That was really made this one unique, was that part. That was really cool. But then also Trey's rig was in the background. He fucking cranked it up and was playing heavy. Put it on the heavy setting, and I thought it went well with Paige and just went well overall. And then they fucking just built to this fucking gigantic boom peak. Ripcord, I don't know what the fuck you want to call it. Goes on a Rocky Top. At first, I thought 20 years later was the end of second set, and so the encore was Martian Monster, and then went on Rocky Top Goldie. But I thought if Martian, so at the time I thought, I was like, oh, I'll take the Martian as the encore, but if they're going to do Rocky Top, I guess, I mean, I would have, I just kind of thought, I don't know. It was a little bit of hit for me, a little bit of miss at the same time. I kind of just, I don't care for Rocky Top in general, but I thought, considering how epic Martian Monster was, to get Rocky Top, I felt was pretty, if you're going to segue out of something else, then at least that would fit. Golgi ended the encore. Golgi's Golgi. I'll take a fucking Golgi any day for sure. Still have never. I don't think I've ever gotten a Golgi, so definitely on my list. But so I say 11. Tier wise, I would give it 5 or whatever my highest is 4. Definitely perfect show. So here's this one.